Quitting a high-paying job. That sounds crazy, especially in this economy. People are dying to find jobs. They're struggling. They're dealing with all the BS of ghost jobs, fake jobs, all that stuff that's going on right now. And yet there's some people out there that are quitting a high-paying job. So why would someone walk away from a six-figure salary job? Now I'm going to discuss the real emotional and financial consequences and what you need to consider for taking that leap. So if you ever thought about quitting your high-paying job, or you just want to know what goes on behind the scenes, stick around, because this one's for you. Quitting a high-paying job, it's not always about dissatisfaction. You might love the work, love the people, and still feel the urge to move on. But why would anyone leave a job that pays so well? And we're going to break it down. First, let's talk about burnout. We've all been there. If you've been working in the job market for any length of time, you're going to hit that burn point. High-paying jobs often come with intense pressure and long hours. In some cases, the stress can take a real toll on you. Your mental health, your physical health, and your overall happiness. And no paycheck, no matter how big, it's not worth sacrificing your well-being. Another reason might be the lack of fulfillment. You might be asking yourself, is this all there is? Even though you're making a lot of money, you might realize you're not doing something that aligns with your passions or value. Now, I'm pretty sure most of us out there, we would thoroughly enjoy getting paid for what we love to do, our passion. Then they'd say, hey, you never work a day in your life. That old saying. That's true, but most of us are not remotely close to being that fortunate to be able to get paid to do what we love. So we're going to go do the daily grind. And the same old crap day in, day out that we just despise going to. You live for the weekends. Society's been doing that for a long time. Then you have the time factor. Think about it. The more time you spend at working in that high-paying job, the less time you have for your personal life. And the old saying fits. I've always lived by it. I never live to work. You work to live, especially a job you don't enjoy. If you're despising going to the office every day, one, you need to get a new job, but that's easier said than done. So don't live to work. You only work to live. You need that paycheck so you go do other things that you enjoy doing in life. So some people, they don't think it's worth it. They're not willing to trade their personal time and their well-being for that big fat paycheck. Just not worth it. I don't blame them. Some people, they go for the most they can get. They're money hungry. They got to get that bigger salary. So they sacrifice. They do whatever it takes to get that bigger salary. A lot of people just want to spend time with their family, their friends, traveling, work on side projects.
Might be time to quit your job. I firmly believe that your job should be something that's enriching, that gives you energy and forces you to grow each and every day. So if you find yourself in a situation that doesn't do that, this is one of those times where you really got to ask yourself some tough questions. So the first one is if the job isn't encouraging you to grow, and we're constantly looking for how do we do the least amount of work just to get through the day. Nobody wants to be a part of that. The second is if you're feeling burnout or exhaustion. It's got you working so hard that you're feeling its effects not only physically, mentally, and emotionally, but maybe it's protruding into your family life and your personal life, and is usually a sign of the third one, which is a culture that is toxic. If the toxic culture is affecting you, you know you're dealing with maybe gaslighting, or you're dealing with people that are constantly talking behind people's backs. You aren't growing, this isn't inspiring, and I guarantee you, you're not going to like the person you become if you keep working.
But here's the thing. Quitting a high-paying job isn't just about escaping the bad stuff. Sometimes it's about moving towards something better. Maybe you want more freedom. Maybe you want to start your own business. Maybe you want to pursue a passion project that you've been putting off for years because you don't have the time. So whatever it is, quitting your job can open doors to new opportunities that you never imagined. Now, there's a few things to consider before you quit that high-paying job. It's not something you should take lightly. There's a huge risk involved. So we're going to talk about a few of the things you need to consider before you hand in that resignation. First thing to consider, the financial toll it's going to take on you. You're going to have to dip into your savings because you no longer have financial stability. There's no longer that check come in, that steady paycheck that you can count on to get by, pay the bills. It's no longer there. So you need to come with a plan. You got to have enough savings and a solid plan. It can quickly become a problem. Experts say you should have 3 to 6 months saved up. I think in this economy, you got to have a year. Easy, a year. Have a year in savings, cover all the bills, and then you can focus on your project, your personal project, something you're passionate about, starting your own business. Get out of that cubicle, that slave to the grind, working 8 to 5, working for the man, and never getting ahead. So have that year of savings, and you're going to be in a good position to go for it. Second, you got to have a clear plan. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you have to have a clear vision of what you're going for. What is your goal? What are you going to accomplish? If you have that savings set aside for a year, you have a year to go for it. So it's best to have a plan so you're not wasting any time or money or effort. You go in knowing this is what I do, step 1, 2, and 3, and knock it out. Some of you out there, maybe you're not going to start your own business. Maybe it is you want to transition into another type of career. You want to take some time off to recharge. Whatever it is, just make sure you have a roadmap that you can follow so you're not just wandering aimlessly, spending your money, wasting your time, and have nothing to show for it. And lastly, don't underestimate the emotional impact. Quitting a job can feel like you're giving up on your identity. You've been working so hard for years, and suddenly it's all gone. You're no longer clocking that cubicle, saying hi to John and Sally every day. No, that life is behind you now. So you got to be prepared emotionally. What's going to happen now when you wake up every day? You're going to have a new routine. So there you have it. Those are some reasons why people quit high-paying jobs. As crazy as that sounds. Yeah, I'm going to throw away my $150,000 a year salary, and I'm just going to sit at home and do what comes to mind. Sounds crazy, I know. Before you make that life-changing decision, though, you need to think about quitting your job, what it takes to make it in this world when you don't have a steady paycheck. What's life going to look like in the next 6 months to a year? Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, that you want to do it. I want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment. Have you tried this? If you quit your high-paying job, what was the outcome? Success, failure? What were the reasons? You had some goal in mind? I appreciate your time. Share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.